The pole winner, Romain Grosjean, for his time on the Fox 59 Red Couch now with Speed Sports' Bruce Martin. Bruce, Romain, very early in his career, getting a pole. I think a lot of people expected him to do well, but maybe not this well so early.
What a great story he's turning out to be, because you think back to November 29th, the Bahrain Grand Prix, just how lucky he was to survive that fireball of a crash. His Formula One career ended in a blaze, but today he laid down a scorcher of a lap to win the pole. And so early in his IndyCar career, team owner Dale Coyne said that he knew this guy had speed. Even though Formula One has a lot to do with the type of car and team you're on, he said it was his pre-Formula One career where Romain was just outstanding in every series he had been in. That was the talent level that Dale Coyne looked at when he went so aggressively after him for the 51 car this season.
Grosjean leads a group of 5 drivers in the top 7 that have never won an IndyCar race before, so that's a lot of talent that is trying to break through, and we've already seen a couple guys get their first wins this year.
And we'll see a few more get their first wins again. I would definitely think Scott McLaughlin is going to get a victory this year at Team Penske. The New Zealander, who gained most of his fame in Australia in supercars, finished second already on his first race on a high bank oval, Texas Motor Speedway, a couple of weeks ago. This kid is really good, and I really think he could be the guy that wins tomorrow.
There's he has a lot of experience alongside him in the Team Penske paddock, guys who have won at IMS before, and you look at Will Power and Simon Pagenaud, who have won this race 3 times each. You look at Scott Dixon, who won it last year. They're not really starting close to the front, but of those 3, who do you think could make a run at the when all is said and done tomorrow?
Well, there's been a lot of times when you think this is the year that a Team Penske driver, isn't going to win the race, but so we've got Scott McLaughlin starting up near the front. I wouldn't be surprised to see either of the 2 Penske guys fight their way up there. Mm-hmm. And also, as Scott Dixon said during the break before qualifying, it all depends on when the yellow flag comes out. It can turn the race upside down, and then all of a sudden you can go from being mired into the pack to all of a sudden being in the front.
Mm-hmm. Bruce, we mentioned earlier in the show that the Honda Indy Toronto is no more this season. Could IndyCar be looking elsewhere to fill the void?
They're definitely looking elsewhere, and I spoke with a top IndyCar official in the garage area today. A lot of us had thought it was pretty much on automatic that they may go to Mid-Ohio or go to Gateway, and this person says, or Road America. So that's another one to really look at. And he says, we did double headers at all 3 of those venues, could easily do it. This is the first time I've heard Road America mentioned as a possibility for the Toronto race. And I think, everybody loves going to Road America. You get back-to-back races on Saturday and Sunday. That's an instant hit as it is.
Bruce, it was a sad month for many in the IndyCar paddock and many who have followed the sport for so long with the death of 3-time Indy 500 winner Bobby Unser. What was your experience like with him? Because I know you certainly had plenty among your experiences with former IndyCar drivers.
Well, earlier this week I was in Albuquerque to go to his funeral, and I started out as a kid in northern Indiana, and Bobby Unser was, he was one of the guys that I always watched in the race to follow, and all of a sudden I go from a kid to covering him, and then when his career is over, goes from that into actually becoming friends with him. And toward the end of his life, we had a great relationship, as he did with a lot of people in IndyCar. Bobby Unser had the innate ability to, whoever he was speaking with, made them feel like they were the most important person in the room, and he paid attention, he was interested in what he had to say. One of the things that both Mario Andretti and Rick Mears told me that they learned from Bobby Unser was he was so nice to the fans and he was so kind to the fans, and they both learned that from Bobby Unser. He wasn't just a great race driver, he was a giant of the Indianapolis 500.
Before we let you off the red couch, I got to know one driver who's crossing the finish line to take the checkers tomorrow.
I think I had already talked about him earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Scott McLaughlin.
I like it. I like McLaughlin. Bruce Martin, Speed Sport. Appreciate your time. We'll be right back on Sports Overtime.